This week's Parsha of Metzorah continues the conversation we began in last week's Parsha of Tazria. In Parshat Tazria, we delved into the ways in which a skin affliction known as tsarat was to be diagnosed and the procedures for containing the illness and preventing its spread. We discussed why the Kohen was specifically charged with the diagnosis of this disease, as the root cause of this predicament came from a spiritual source. As we learned in the Gemara, tsarat was an outward manifestation of an inner character deficiency, namely spreading gossip and slander about other people. It is within Parshat Metzorah that we transition from a discussion about the disease and turn to its cure. The Torah outlines the rituals in the Mishkan that are to be performed upon recovering from the illness. However, prior to taking step into the Mishkan, first the Mishkan, through its representative the Kohen, takes a step towards the afflicted person. V'yatsa Kohen al mechutz lamachaneh v'ra'a Kohen v'hineh nirpa nega hatzarat min hatzarua. And the Kohen shall go outside the camp, and the Kohen shall look, and behold, the affliction of tsarat has healed in the afflicted person. It was the Kohen who examined the individual and declared him ill, and it is fittingly the Kohen who once examines the person and declares him well. The image of the Kohen leaving the camp, entering the no man's land, and turning his gaze towards the afflicted is striking. The Kohen does not just simply look from afar, but rather he ventures outside to where the sick and the ailing, the downcast of society live. He goes where few of us dare to go, and does the work of uplifting the fallen and healing the sick. He does not simply offer only a curt re-examination, but vera'ah Kohen. He looks and he chooses to focus his attention upon the tormented and the downcast. This Wednesday, the university gathered to offer tribute and celebrate the life of the Reverend Professor Peter J. Gomes. Professor Gomes was a man of much complexity. As President Faust noted, he rejoiced in his seeming contradictions. For example, as a descendant of slaves, as a member of the Plymouth Pilgrim Society. It was Governor Dvar Patrick, though, who recounted a statement of Professor Gomes that relates to our very Parsha. Professor Gomes once was asked if he was an optimist, and he responded that he is not an optimist, but he is hopeful. And further, he said that faith is the conviction that hope works. The distinction between unending optimism and unyielding hope is where the former believes no ill can ever come, no wrong will ever go unpunished, and all will turn out good in the end. The latter understands that at times things do end tragically. Some wrongs do go unpunished, at least in this life, and sometimes illness and tragedy does strike. Yet for those with hope, they believe that with the proper effort and collaboration and with God's help, we can make the best out of trying times and bring comfort and healing to as many people as we possibly can. There was no guarantee that the person afflicted with tsarat would become better. Perhaps they might never learn the lessons God was trying to impart to them, but that is no excuse to not maintain hope and vigilance on their behalf. The Kohen goes mechutz lamachaneh, outside of society, and visits with those in tremendous suffering. He offers healing to those who can be healed and readmittance to society for those who can be readmitted. He remains hopeful for them, and by so doing teaches us the powerful value of undying, never-ending hope. Shabbat Shalom.